right, guys, welcome back. I'm KP,
I'm GenoJ.
the real estate
Gurus.
and today we just want to reflect on some of our wildest experience when it came to demo or reno, meaning demolish a house or renovate that house. And Gene has a catalog of memories that he's just going to go over about a couple of the jobs that he ended up having to demo these houses. Like, can you imagine just buying a brand new Ferrari for $180,000 and realizing that it ain't got no motor in it and it's held together with Gorilla Glue? So that's how it was with this situation. Tell them about Paoli.
Yeah, Paoli, that was a situation where, we bought the house and we were looking just to do a regular renovation on it. But the problem was the foundation. Like, we knew it had a bad foundation, but we didn't know the house was built on piers. And then whoever owned the house, they built like this little fake wall in front of the foundation so it looked good. And we didn't know all that stuff was there. So as we started doing the demo, stuff just started falling apart. And it got to the point where we had no choice but to demo the house and tear it all down. And not only that, we were faced with other obstacles. There was like a pipe that was running underneath the house. And, it was on the survey when we did the survey, and the city told us it was their pipe. But to make a long story short, we went through like over a year with this property trying to figure out this pipe and trying to get plans for it. And to make a long story short, the pipe ended up being like a private pipe, so it had nothing to do with the city. So we lost a lot of time and energy just dealing with the city, because when you have really complicated stuff, sometimes like the city can tend to kind of push to the side or give you these vague answers, and you got to try to figure out a way to make them happy to move the project forward. So we had to get engineers involved on moving the pipe and doing some other type of design for it. But at the end of the day, it turned out to be, a private pipe that they end up not caring about. But yeah, we had to tear the house down.
Okay. And with that one house, because this is one of the largest projects that you've done so far, to what was the purchase price of this house? The actual, it's not even a rehab anymore. It's the actual rebuild of this house, like what you spent on the demo, the lot, the house, and what you plan to get out of it based on how it was brought to you in the first place.
We ended up purchasing the house for like $250,000, but then we had like a renovation loan on it for like $75,000. So we were carrying $325 mortgage payments for over a year, like a year and like 4 months, 5 months.
How much is that per month, if you don't mind?
Oh man, we was paying like $2,800 a month.
That's over $30,000 in mortgage payments.
And then, after we hit the year, we had to do a loan extension, which was like $5,000, and we had it for another several months. So right now we're in it. We're in it over quite a bit.
So with the new build, I know it's this massive house. What is the budget for the new build? Because you're already upside down $300,000+.
Yeah. So the new build budget, on paper, we have a $210,000 budget. In reality, it's probably going to cost closer to $220,000, $225,000.
Okay.
One is because lumber prices have went up.
Right.
Not only has lumber went up, but everything else has went up. Appliances, doors, trim. So everything's a lot higher than it was when we initially started, the budget for the house. So, we may end up being in it about, $225,000, give or take.
Okay. So all in, you're going to be in close to $600,000 when it's all said and done.
Yeah, because we have the additional carrying costs that we have to keep maintaining it. So yeah, we'll probably end up being in it close to $600,000.
Okay. So now you guys see how you cannot really judge a book or a house by the cover, and it was all a learning experience. He's not going to lose any money for all of those out there that's worried. So yeah, just got to be careful, man. We wish you luck when it comes to those,
but like it happens, like, you know, when you renovated 500 houses, you always gonna have some crazy ass surprise that you don't think about.
Right.
You know, you just doing some cookie cutter stuff. You did one or two. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. But when you're taking on a lot of challenging projects, and you're doing a lot of stuff, you're gonna run into stuff. I mean, there's probably nothing I haven't seen. I've seen, we had a house in Lithonia, and it was a well underneath the house. So
like a water well?
Like a water well. Like we kept hearing like water. And you know, we were redoing the floor. So my guy was sanding, he hit like some little locks or something, and it turned out it was like a private trap door. So we opened the door, and it was like some stairs under there. And he called me, and so I got out there, and I looked down. We saw like a well, and so I wasn't going down there. He went down there, and so it was a well, and he also saw like we assumed, we don't know for sure, it was like a burial site. So I was just like, man, I couldn't sell that house fast enough and get off of it fast enough.
Yeah,
that was kind of spooky. Right. But it was, I mean, you just never know. You know, that's stuff that you don't, like a home inspector's not gonna cover it up. It was just like an unknown, like a secret compartment down there.
Yeah. And this is just like we're gonna start a series on demo or reno. And this video is just a sample of what's coming, so you guys can see everything. But it's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and that's why we drop these videos. Pretty much try to help you guys out that aren't as experienced as Gene or myself.
The only advice I can give you is, one, a lot of people, like I talk to a lot of people, even some friends, they're like hesitant to get started. You just got to get started and just go for it. Really, I mean, you got to think about, yeah, there is some risk involved, but at the end of the day, you know, there's more to gain than you have more to lose. So you have to just take that leap of faith and get started. But educate yourself, continue to educate yourself, and make good educated decisions. And when you start out, you know, don't start out with a big burnout or a big addition. You know, we got people that, you know, I mean, you know this, we get calls and somebody's like, yeah, I'm doing an addition. How many renovations have you done? Oh, this is like my first or second one. When you're doing an addition, like take baby steps first before you get into bigger projects, and educate yourself and learn. So that's gonna be key. And then number two is, honestly, like if you're buying properties right, you get to the point where if you can't sell it, you always have to have an extra strategy to refinance it and keep it. Because long term, you're not gonna lose. Like short term, you might be in a house where you done overspent on the budget, and if you're not getting the offer that you want and you sell it now, you might take a small haircut or small loss. But if you keep that house for a few years, you can probably recoup that. So you gotta think a different strategy. There's always ways to make money. Sometimes you can do it quick. Sometimes you just gotta plan to hold that house for a few years and let it appreciate a little bit more before you can make that money. And I kind of stumbled upon, I wouldn't say stumbled upon, but I would say this: I always wanted to have a lot of rental properties, and I accidentally built a rental portfolio the last 2 years because like the market is kind of up and down. So I had a lot of stuff where like the market just kind of went flat, and actually it dipped a little bit. So I ended up keeping a lot of those houses instead of selling them for break-even price or $5,000 profit. I kept them, and now fast forward, the stuff that I kept has $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 in equity in it. Because I could have got off some stuff in Stone Mountain a couple years ago where I could have barely got 160, 170. Now them same houses are worth 240, 250 right now. And before you know it, now you got 15, 20 houses with 60, 70, $100,000 in equity. I mean, you become a millionaire pretty quick just with the equity that you built, from those houses and stuff. So holding is a great strategy. for everybody. So you do want to flip some, and especially starting out to get your cash up. But I think implementing a strategy where you hold houses is really what's going to build your wealth, because that flip money, it comes and goes quick. As you flip, you make 40, 50, pay your taxes, whatever, and then you get into something else. But when you hold, you can actually see that bag grow a little bigger when you start holding stuff versus trying to make that quick money. But you got to have a good mixture of both.
Right. All right, cool, guys. So thank you. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. We try to reply to all comments and all questions. So thank you guys again. I'm KP.
I'm GenoJ.
The Real Estate Gurus. You make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, KP_GenoJ, Flip Atlanta. Thank you guys.